Esta noche voy a buscarte. Ya no aguanto más. Desesperada estoy.
Hola mi gente, we are back here for another interview for Pa La Cultura. Thank you guys for joining us. So today I am so excited because I am joined by Dakhota Romero. So for those of our viewers who don't know you, who have not heard your music or haven't heard of your work in bachata, just tell us a little bit about you.
My name is Dakhota Romero. I am from Los Angeles, California. I am a multicultural artist, a singer, dancer. I'm of Native American, Hispanic, and Scandinavian descent.
Wow. So Dakota, let's talk about, because I know you're not Dominican, so let's talk about how you came into bachata. I always like to ask people when they're not Dominican, like how did you find Dominican culture? How did you find bachata? And especially become so involved like you are now. So tell us a little bit of how that story went.
So I was studying music at university, and I did a study abroad program in Paris. And I happened to be there over the summer where they have this big festival called Fête de la Musique, which is the first day of summer, which is also my birthday, which was so fun because it's like everybody's just out in the street. There's music everywhere, all kinds of music. And I'd already been dancing salsa, and I heard a salsa band. So I took my group. I was like, let's go over there. I want to go dance. So we went over. We met a group of people there, and I ended up dating one of the gentlemen in that group later on. And he introduced me to bachata. So I was introduced to bachata in Paris by a Colombian.
That is so interesting because, usually you hear people are introduced to bachata either in Dominican Republic or in New York or somewhere like that, but maybe even like in Florida or something. But like the fact that you were introduced in Paris, that's a really interesting story. That's really cool. From there, how did you, get so involved with the bachata scene?
Well, I absolutely fell in love with bachata. Like as soon as I heard it, we were dancing it all the time. He was taking me to all the bachata spots in Paris. And I came back to LA and I couldn't find bachata anywhere. I would go out dancing salsa nights and I didn't really hear it. I started to hear it being like, salsa, 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 bachata merengue.
Little sprinkles.
Yeah, little sprinkles. And then, bachata nights started happening. I started going to those and I saw a couple dancing on the floor. Now, what I was dancing before would probably be like what most dancers would call maybe urban. Mm-hmm. Until this one night, I saw a couple dancing on the dance floor, and I was like, wait, what are they dancing? Like, I have to know that. And I saw after they finished, they like went separate like places in the room, and I was like, wait, they don't know each other? Like, how did they dance like that? They didn't know each other. So it wasn't until a few years later I got invited to a weekender, which is where I met my dance partner. And at that weekender, it was Edwin, Adam, Carlos, and Edwin's partner at the time, Daniela. And I was like, oh, I found it. This is what I was looking for. And little did I know it was bachata, Dominican bachata.
You have a very interesting perspective as somebody who sings bachata, but also dances bachata, also teaches bachata as well. I know you travel the world, go to festivals, and spread the culture and everything. So I know you said before you started dancing bachata, but then you started singing. So how did you get into that from like dancing bachata to then starting to record bachata as an artist?
Yeah. So my dance partner and I, Edwin Ferreras, we are actually both musicians. Mm-hmm. So we both studied music at university. We have degrees in music. And music has always been a huge part of my life. My father's a musician. I grew up touring with him and recording studios, backstage, everything. So, Edwin and I we're traveling the world, we're teaching, we're like loving this dance, everything. And then all of a sudden we kind of we're like, wait, why aren't we doing anything musically? I love to sing. I love bachata music. And we're like, we got to do this.
Yeah. Your first song was?
We released it. We started it in 2020. We released it in 2021.
And the first one was
La Mujer de tu Vida. Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
yeah.
So that was your first song.
Yeah, that was the first one. And then we rolled out with the bolero version. We wanted to have a bachata and a bolero version. Yes. And then, Ricky and Ricky was a part of both of those projects, but then we also have our song Siempre together.
So as a singer, a dancer, and a dance instructor, how do those worlds all connect for you?
I think when Edwin and I started creating music together, that's when everything just became full circle for me, because now I get to share the two things that I love most and that I do, dancing and singing, both in bachata.
Yeah, and I think that's why I'm like, I think you have such like a beautiful perspective, because you're somebody who, we don't see that a lot, where there's like somebody who sings bachata but also dances bachata. So it's like you literally are like embodying the entire like essence of what bachata is, with both music and dancing. So that is, I think that is so beautiful, and I really admire that a lot about you.
Thank you so much.
So Dakota, do you think that as a dancer, being a dancer affects the way that you sing bachata as well?
I think being a dancer affects the way that I create bachata, that I create the music, because I want to create music that I want to dance to. But I do think that singing bachata affects the way that I dance bachata, because I notice that there is something that I do when I dance. I have a singer's brain on sometimes when I dance. As a singer, we want to sing in the pockets of the music, when there's not a lot happening, when the guitars are lower, when there's not happening a lot melodically. That's when the singer comes in to sing, right? And we're filling that space with melody and with lyrics. And I notice that when I have my singer brain on and I'm dancing, I will start doing things with my feet that's not there musically. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm creating music. But then I look back at a video of Edwin and I'm like, what was I doing? There wasn't like anything for me to be reacting to.
Wasn't in the music.
That wasn't in the music. That
It's
wasn't
kinda
there.
like you were adding to the music.
Yeah, like I was trying to create a melody with my feet, and then I'm like, you gotta put your dancer brain on so that you're expressing the melody that's being played, or the rhythm or whatever, with, and I'm talking about like little, I'm gonna call them footwork. There we go. Dancer brain back on. So yeah, sometimes I think like a singer when I'm dancing.
So now let's talk about your newest single, Esta Noche. Just came out like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Tell us about that song. I actually saw you did a cover of Esta Noche. You made like a video one time. I remember it because it was so pretty. And I was like, she sings this song so beautifully. So when I saw that you actually recorded and released it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. So tell us about how this song came to be, and what that process was like.
Yeah. So I love this song so much. I love singing it. And if you can't tell, my two favorite bachateros are Joy Veras and Raulín. And I was able to actually have a moment with him on stage. We danced together, we sang together, we talked, and being there at his concert completely escalated my appreciation for his music and just him as a performer. And when you saw me do that cover was right after that. I was so inspired hearing it live, and I was like, I have to learn this on piano. So I taught myself, and then I was like, wait, I have to sing this song. So that's how it happened.
As an artist, when you do, because you did the La Mujer de tu Vida cover, which is beautiful. I love that. And then now you're doing this cover of Esta Noche. So how do you think you put your own style when you're doing these covers of these other artists?
Well, first I have to completely connect to the song. I mean, it has to be something that I really feel in my bones and that I really want to express with my voice. I'm not trying. I mean, both of those songs are classics and incredible, and I'm not trying to, replicate them in any way. I want to create something that's different, that's my own, that has its own uniqueness to it, while still respecting the original versions. And I think I've been having a lot of fun. We don't have a lot of female voices in bachata, and I think it's been really fun to create these covers, to hear them in a new way, because then we hear them from a female's perspective, and it changes it just enough to have something different, but still having the essence of the song, of course.
Yeah. And I love that actually about your covers, because it is like, it's the same song, but it kind of gives it like a new, different life. Like for me, the first time I actually heard your version of La Mujer de tu Vida, I remember I was at a social, and they played the song, and I was like, I had never heard your version before, and I was like, a lot of these things that are sung from the male perspective, it's like, but a woman can feel the same way as well. So when I heard your cover of La Mujer de tu Vida, it was like, they dicen que soy la hembra mala. I'm like, because why can't you say that from a woman's perspective?
Right.
They're talking bad about me, and they're saying, what I mean? These things are things that maybe sometimes to say something that is from a male's perspective as a woman is something that's a little bit taboo in a way. Why would you say that? But it's no, we all go through the same thing. So why can't, these bachata songs be done from a woman's perspective? So I love that you do that. You take these songs and kind of give them a different, like a new life in a woman's, through a woman's eyes.
Yeah, I think it's important that we challenge the taboo. Mm-hmm. And I think it was also really beautiful. I had no idea what the response was going to be like. Mm-hmm. And it was so beautiful to see how empowered women felt from this song. Yeah. I mean, I was seeing videos from everywhere and just watching people dance to it. I was like, oh my gosh, everyone feels, or at least from my perspective, looks like they feel so empowered. And I was like, I couldn't have asked for a better result. So I just want to correct myself on something that I said. There are a lot of female voices in bachata, but we don't always hear them. Mm-hmm. So please go out, search for those female voices in bachata because they are there and we need to raise women's voices.
So tell us, how do you want people to feel when they listen to your version of Esta Noche?
I want people to feel sexy and sultry and cheeky. And I created it with the intention of being ambiguous. Mm-hmm. So we get bachata from bolero, and I really wanted something that was in between the two. Yeah. Where if you want to dance bachata, you can dance bachata. If you want to dance bolero, you can dance bolero.
I noticed that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very it's kind of like it lives in between. Like,
yes, we have elements of both in it. So the dancer, the listener, kind of gets to decide how they want to feel it.
So tell us a little bit about what has been, because your bachata journey is very extensive, as you said before. You sing, you dance, you teach. So what has been the most memorable part of your bachata journey so far?
We had released La Mujer de tu Vida. It had been out. Fun fact, the bass player in La Mujer de tu Vida is the same bass player in El Hombre de tu Vida. Mm-hmm. And we knew that he had played it for Joy. And we knew that he had heard it and that he enjoyed it, that he really liked it. And that was, oh my gosh, when I found out that news, I was like, oh my gosh, no way, really? And so now, flash forward, we're in DR, and we were on a tour, and there was a music manager there, and, we had talked to him. We knew that we were going to be in Jarabacoa, and, I've always wanted to meet Joy and everything. And so he had sent him a video of me singing it. I was singing it live at Café Colau. This was at Que Lo Que Bachata Adventures. And I was singing it live, and the manager sent Joy the video. And he was taking a nap, and he saw it, and he was like, I have to go meet her. This is what the manager told me after. I didn't know this at the time. I had no idea any of this was happening. Right. But afterwards, the manager told me that he saw the video, and he was like, I have to go meet her. I'm pretty sure I remember him telling me that he said something like, I have to go, shake her hand. I have to hug her. And I was like, oh my gosh, he wants to meet me. I want to meet him, Right. So he came, and he, pulled up in his car, and then, they brought us over to him. And he was just going to, kind of pop out and, we were going to meet and, say hello, everything. And so we did. And then the organizers of the festival invited him in. And he came in, and then they played the song again, and they put me on stage, and I started singing it again. And, of course, now everybody was, circled and around him and crowded him and was wanting photos with him. And so I was singing, and then I was, waiting, oh, is he going to come? Are they going to bring him? Should I keep singing? Should I not? And they ended up bringing him. And then it turned into, us singing it to each other, him getting on stage, so cool. Him singing it. It was out of this world. I was on cloud 9. He ended up being one of the artists on the tour on the following one, and I got to again go up and sing it with him. And then I remember when I got up there, he said, Yo soy el hombre de tu vida y tú eres la mujer de mi vida.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
It was incredible.
So tell us a little bit about, some things that are coming next for you that you're excited about.
Well, this is just the first of a few songs coming out in this rollout. I'm really excited to share some original music. So stay tuned.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Pa La Cultura. Thank you so much, Dakota, for being with me. This was an amazing interview. And, make sure you guys stay tuned with everything that's going on with Dakota, because there's a whole lot going on. There's music, there's dancing. If you guys see Areito Arts, Her and Edwin, if they're in your area, if they're doing classes or anything like that, or a dance festival, make sure you guys go check them out. And make sure that you guys check out Dakota's music on all the streaming platforms, that you follow her on social media, and stay tuned for everything that's going on with her. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you guys so much for joining us on Pa La Cultura. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yo sé que soy